At 3 a.m., my sister knocked on my door, soaked, scared, pregnant, and broken. I pulled her in and deleted Dad's cruel text, "You're both dead to us." I gave her mercy when no one else did. 2 years later, Dad finally saw the daughter and grandchild he had thrown away. 87 missed calls, dozens of voicemails, his voice shaking with regret. When he stood in front of us, face pale, frozen, words stuck in his throat, I just smiled. He had no idea what he had lost. "Stop lying, Maeve. Admit what you did." Dad's voice shook the whole table. His fist hit the wood so hard the plates rattled. Mom sat still, holding her glass like it might save her. Her eyes red, lips pressed shut. Maeve fired back. "I'm not the liar here. Don't you dare put this on me." I leaned against the wall, coffee mug in my hand. Cold now. My hands weren't shaking, but inside, something heavy pressed down. The air felt like smoke, thick, burning. Then Dad turned, his eyes cutting straight into me. "This all started because of you, Lucas. Don't think I don't know." The whole room went silent. "My name is Lucas Hale, 27. I've been the quiet one since I was a kid. People thought I was weak. Easy to blame. Easy to ignore. Dad never cared about me. He used me when it was convenient, blamed me when things went wrong. Even Maeve, my sister, sometimes joined him, but I wasn't weak. I was watching. I was storing everything like a box full of broken glass. Tonight, they thought they were tearing each other apart. What they didn't know, I carried something sharper than all of them. Something I had been waiting years to use. Family members introduced. Dad, Eldon, 54. Loud, controlling, every word like a hammer. He never talks, only commands. Mom, Clara, 50. Soft, but always trembling. She cries more than she speaks. She hides behind her rosary and whispers prayers instead of facing the truth. Sister, Maeve, 25, reckless, stubborn, and too much like him. Always the golden child, until her mistakes caught up. And me, Lucas, the listener, the punching bag. The shadow no one noticed until they needed someone to blame. Dad's voice cracked like a whip. "You've shamed this family, Maeve, and you..." His finger stabbed the air toward me. "You're just as guilty." Maeve looked at me, fear flickering in her eyes. She knew what he meant, but she stayed quiet. It wasn't just about Maeve's mistakes, it was never just that. This fight had teeth because money was involved. The house, the land, the inheritance. Dad snarled, "The property stays with me. I built this family. I decide." Maeve shouted, "It was Mom's family land. It's not yours to take." Mom tried to whisper something, but her voice was too soft. Dad drowned her out. "And me?" I said nothing. But in my head, I already saw the cracks. I'd seen bank slips. I'd seen hidden letters. I knew the truth Dad was trying to bury. It wasn't about family honor. It was about his theft. Voices crashed like thunder. Eldon slammed his chair back. Clara cried into her hands. Maeve threw every word she had at him. And then Maeve turned on me, eyes wild. "Don't act innocent, Lucas. You think staying quiet makes you clean? You know things. You've always known things." Everyone froze. All eyes on me. I set my mug down carefully, like it was nothing. My voice came out low, controlled. "I know more than you'd like." The words sliced the room open. For the first time, Dad's anger paused. Rain pouring down. I was 19, standing in front of the gas station where Dad left me. My phone buzzed once. His text burned my eyes. "Be a man. Walk home." I walked 12 miles that night, soaked, freezing, no coat, passing cars sprayed water in my face. Every step, I told myself. Never again. When I came home, he was sitting warm in his chair, beer in hand, laughing at the TV. No apology, no shame, just a glance that said, "Weak." I wanted to scream, but I didn't. I stayed silent. Maeve found me shivering, handed me dry clothes, whispered, "You're not nothing, Lucas." That night, something cracked inside me. Not just pain, a seed. a seed of revenge. Maeve finally exploded. You stole from Mom, didn't you? That's why you're clutching the land papers. You took her inheritance before she even saw it. Eldon's face drained. Mom gasped like she couldn't breathe. And me? My lips curled, because I'd been waiting for this. I stepped forward slowly, pulling folded papers from my jacket. Bank slips, withdrawals, evidence. She's not guessing, I said quietly. She's right, and I can prove it. Eldon froze. Mom stared. Maeve's mouth fell open. And for the first time in years, I had power. The room exploded, Mom crying, Maeve yelling, Eldon denying with shaky hands. I stood in the storm, calm. You always told me silence was weakness, I said, voice steady. But silence was my weapon. I waited, I watched, and now, here it is. Eldon's jaw trembled. He pointed at me, desperate. You ungrateful... I cut him off. No, you don't get to call me that anymore. I gave you every chance, and you buried me in humiliation. You called me useless, left me stranded, treated me like trash. Tonight is the bill you never thought would come. The silence that followed was heavier than any scream. I didn't storm out. That's what he expected. I walked past him slow, steady, every step louder than his shouts. Maeve grabbed my arm. Lucas, don't leave me here. I looked her in the eyes. You're not alone anymore. He can't hurt you the same way again, Mom whispered behind me, broken. Lucas, forgive me. I should have protected you. I didn't even turn. Too late, Mom. That weight isn't mine anymore. The night air hit my face like freedom. For the first time, I felt taller than the house I grew up in. 2 years later. The door knocked. Eldon stood there, his hair thinner, face pale, eyes hollow. He wasn't the man who used to tower over me. In his arms, Maeve's little boy, the grandchild he once swore was dead to him. 87 missed calls, dozens of voicemails, his voice shaking with regret. Now he stood frozen, words caught in his throat. I looked at him, then at the boy in his arms. My smile wasn't cruel, but it wasn't kind. He thought he still had something to gain. He didn't realize the only thing he'd lost was everything. I whispered, more to myself than him. For the first time, I don't carry his weight anymore. All my life I was the quiet one. I never asked for much. I wanted peace, a little respect. Instead, I was blamed, laughed at, and left behind. When I was humiliated, I stayed silent. When I was hurt, I swallowed it. But silence doesn't mean weakness. It means I carried more than anyone saw. And when the truth finally came out, it wasn't anger that spoke. It was years of pain they never cared to see. Now he regrets it. Now he sees what he lost. But the boy they called useless, he's not waiting for love that never came. If you were in my place, would you forgive or would you finally let go? Tell me in the comments. Like if you've ever been blamed for things you didn't deserve. Subscribe for more stories of silence, scars, and strength. And share your story, because maybe someone out there needs to hear they're not alone.